I have to say something. I thank Elena, that's right, Elena, your name, for the writing note. You know, for me, when I come to give any topic or anything, you can see some people, they take it very serious. Some people, they come by force. Some people interest to learn. This was one of the story I want to talk about because this happened when I was, during the theological college, we have to go village to preach or teaching people. My service was about 2 hours away from Cairo. So you have to take public transport to go 2 hours away. And after this one, not even bus to go. Someone, he met us on the station to take us by motorcycle to go to teaching these people about Word of God. And this was about 35 years ago. And I went, this church, very small village, but the people I never forget. Number one, there was pre-servant, they had no chairs, they was sitting in the floor. And every one of them, he write every word you can teach. So I said, these people, they want to learn something. Next month I come, used to be once a month. And they have, I told them, close your paper, and I start to ask a question. They not even answer the question, they answer every word that I said. So I sacrificed my time to go these 2 hours because he found these people really need to learn. For what she done last time, and she write this one, she remind me about this story. Sometimes people interest to learn. Some people get to force. And all of you be the same class. The Holy Spirit work in everyone. But the more you ask and the more you give, God will give you talent, give you how to preach. So that's why all of you the same year. But have a look after God wills 5-10 years. They found some people serving God. Some people move from church to church and serving God. And some people stop serving. Everyone different. Take it very serious. It's a gift from God. Take it very serious. Everyone coming here sacrifice his time for your benefit and your children's benefit. Take it very serious. So it's very important. Even if you didn't teach Sunday school, you teach your own kids. People coming with a lot of a challenge and a lot of topic. So this is something I want to say. Next 2 months I'm not here. Okay? So I give you a break. But in the meantime, I have all this program I did in my YouTube channel. You can access, you can go through. And I told Elena she can write last 2 topics I did in last group. She can put in the group. At least you're not gonna miss anything. All right, last time I was here, what we was talking about. I saw someone, he put it again to remind you because you know I will ask you a question. Mister, the one you say the mess, what was the topic about?
Maybe I missed it, but the last one I remember was about hope. Alexandria?
No, just eat. Alexandros, last one. Now it's big topic. Did you read the note we put in the group? Did you listen what we put in the group?
Oh, no, it was a different book.
Different Bob, because we have only 116 Bob.
Yeah. Maybe Athanasios?
Athanasios is very smart. You sure? You was public school when you were in school or private? You was home school. Okay, you tell me, you was here no school. You was here last month? What? Okay. That's good as a topic I just start with, yeah. Mr. Koshery man. You was here last time, I remember you was sitting here. That's right, or next to me, yeah.
From the other side.
Other side, yeah. Which Bob was?
So we were talking about 2 popes.
2 Bob, yeah. First one was very important.
The first one was very important, yeah. His name was a bit weird.
Bit weird?
Weird, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, he ticked to its name.
Yeah.
And the second one is a bit more normal, but basically the story behind it is that this pope hated this guy, okay? And because this guy was spreading heresies, which ways, obviously. Now, this pope, the original one, before both of those.
I've not asked you about your life story. I asked you about only the name of the pope.
Did it start with M?
Yes. Give us a start on that.
You left halfway, is that right?
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
I had to fix that on the man cafe.
So you mean you working? What's your job?
Plumber.
You was doing some job in North Sydney.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you.
I was sitting down. I didn't know it was you. I ran to go to the bathroom and he's like, yeah.
I saw. So just watch because I'm watching you.
I don't know, because I was looking and I said, is that you? But I didn't know it was you. So I was scared.
Okay. So still we're asking which. Tell me what Bob.
What were you doing in North Sydney?
I was watching him. All right. What's the Bob name?
When you get in North Sydney, I'll be there. Give us a start. Have a coffee together.
We talk about
Where did I get
The guy that was spreading heresies, his name started with an A. What was it? Was it?
you asking me or I ask you?
Alex.
Are you sure it was Aaron?
But I'm talking about the Bob. Did I say about the heresies? You still reading now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Militos. It was Militos.
No,
That's the guy
not Miletus.
No, that's not the Pope. That's the one that wanted to be Pope.
Okay, number one, we talk about the Bob number 17. Remember what we call him? The seal. No, Bob 17, the seal of martyrs. Bob Peter, the seal of martyrs. And we hear his name every time in the Mass. So that's why we need to understand. Number two, we talk about after Bob number 17 get martyred. He told the two disciples, one of them his name.
The weird name.
Yes.
Archelaus.
Archelaus. See, that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah. So, tell me what you know about him.
So Archelaus was the one that was ordained after the other one got martyred. Okay.
Yeah.
And basically, the first one, Pope Peter. He was against this guy named Arius, because he was spreading heresies about the divinity of Christ.
Yes.
Okay? So what he did basically, he excommunicated him and he told him no, allowed to come back to the church. Now the next pope that he ordained, he told him one thing: make sure whatever you do not let Arius back into the church. So what did he do? He let Arius back into the church.
And what happened to him?
He met.
After how long?
It was the shortest living pope.
After how long? 6 months. I think after you eat kosher, the brain start working.
That's fish oil.
Fish oil. Fish. They put oil in the kosher. All right. After the Pope Archelaus passed away, we have another Pope come. You tell me you eat kosher too, you should know. What's the Pope after Archelaus? Archelaus, the Pope number? 18. So Pope number 19. This one we talked about him last time too. Introduction of him. All right. Anyone? Mr. Fix, North Sydney. Elena.
Athanasios?
No, Alexandros.
I said that before.
No, you said before,
louder.
but you said it before when we talk about.
I wanted to say it again, but I got scared because I got one more.
Okay, all right. Bob Alexandros. Bob Alexandros was number 18. So after he saw what happened to Archelaus, he was very careful what's happening. So they choose him, Alexandros, who's an old man, but they choose him because people love him. They said one of the things we remember about Pope Alexandros, he never reads the Bible when he sit down. Even in his room or cell, he has to stand up. Archelaus, they said he was number 18, the one he passed away. They said the one he stayed 6 months. He said he was a priest in Alexandria and he come from the school of Alexandria. So he was very educated. He's a very nice man. But nowadays you not have to be nice only, you have to be wise. Arius, like I said this last time, but I just to continue the story. Arius very sneaky. He found the Pope Alexandros come. He said, all right, I want to come back to the faith. Accept me. Bob Alexandros, he learned his lesson from Bob Peter and Bob Archelaus. He said, I'm not going to accept you. The one, they excommunicate him by Council of Egypt, because 100 bishops have a meeting. They said it was Arius. And then instead of Arius, he went to come to the faith. They found him, he started lying, he started playing with words. They said, we will not accept you. Better repent, we can accept you. So when they found him, he's still playing games and they play with words, they didn't accept him, they excommunicate him. Bob Alexandros, he said, 100 bishops excommunicate you, we cannot accept you unless we sure you back to the faith. He was very angry, he left Egypt, he went to Palestine. In Palestine, they accept him. In this time, all the world was Christian. We have only one Christian. Only we start a division after a year. If someone says this one, I give him $5.
What's the question?
After which year the Christians start to have division?
The first council.
I said, 1 minute. My question, which year? Don't tell me life story.
150 AC.
Okay. $5 if you answer, $5 if wrong. You take that challenge?
That's not fair.
Do you take the challenge? If you don't know, say I don't know. Anyone you know? Bulamar, you know?
850.
Okay. 451. Very close,
I was 400 years old.
Yeah, only yes. So,
been born and died, okay.
so all the church around the world was one church, one Christian until 451. So everyone as a pope or as a bishop or as a priest, he can pray in different dioceses. So Arius, he went to Palestine. Palestine accepted him. He was very sneaky. He know how to talk very well. And people not to study very good theology, they kind of fall in this trap. Like nowadays, this man in coming on Harris Park or whatever, he's Imam Emmanuel. He talked very nice. He found a lot of people follow him. But what they understand about theology, people don't know. But this guy have heresies of Nestorius. If you study theology straight away, you pick it up. But people, because they think to come to the church, to have Holy Communion, to go home, that's not good enough. You need to understand what you believe. So Bob Alexandros, he said, will not accept you. He went to Palestine area, they accepted him, and they said, we make you to be priest again. He come back to Alexandria, he said, these people in Palestine accept me. Bob Alexandros, he said, no, we're not going to accept you. In the Constantine, the king.
Oh, in the Cynic Thorian today. He was in the Cynic Thorian today.
Yes, that's why we'll talk about him. He's your friend. The king, they accept his bishop. He was a very sneaky person. He told him, we need to bring Arius back. So the king of Constantine sent it to the Pope Alexandros. He told him, I need a peace in my empire. I want you to accept Arius. Alexandros, he said, we're not going to accept Arius. It's not as easy like you think. So he sent his spiritual father, his name Hosius. He was a bishop of Spain. He was a very humble person, and he sent him to Egypt to know what's happening. When he come to Egypt and he sit with Pope Alexandros started to explain to him, it's not as easy you accept him. This person, his heresies, he said, Jesus, it's not equal with God. Jesus, it's similar to God. All what there was in this council of the church, one letter. He's the same or similar. If we say he's similar, that is a Jehovah Witness belief. If we say the same, that's our Orthodox belief. Because Jesus, he appeared in the body when he incarnate. So we say two nature and be one. And after they start to be one, they never divide anymore. Arius, he said, no, we cannot say the Father equal to the Son. And they start to play with the word. He go to the market and he bring a father and son. And he tell... Father and son. And he tells the son, who's older, you or your dad? So there's a laugh on him. They said, definitely my dad older than me. He said, how comes a Christian, they say your dad equal in the age like you? And he make people confused. He was very sneaky man, but because people do not understand, they start to follow him. So Bob Alexandros, because he studied in theological college, he understand what he talking about. Because anyone he say, Jesus not the same was God or God in the appearance in Jesus, it's different because the redemption not happen. Adam and Eve, when they sin, we need someone without sin. No one without sin except God. God is the spirit, so he has to take a body of human to save the human. So in the book of Luke, chapter 1, you found incarnated, and he became man when the Holy Spirit come upon Samir. So to understand what's the difference, we're not gonna say he's a similar, we say the same. So the Hosius went back to Constantine, the king, and tell him it's big heresies, we need to decide what we need to do. He said, what the Pope of Alexandria want? He said, the Pope of Alexandria, because this is affecting the Christian around the world, we need to have a council of a bishop from around the world to decide what we need to do. So the bishop around the world, Constantine the king, what he done, he said to people, we want every bishop to attend. He collect how many bishops? It's in every mass.
360 something.
You attend the mass and you tell me you can say all the mass.
118 at Ephesus.
And I said Nicaea.
360 something.
318 of Nicaea. It's only 200 different.
I could not be right.
Round it off.
Yeah.
I know the year though. I know the year.
Which year?
325.
Yeah. 300. At least he done something. Yeah.
Yeah, good job then.
Now we can say not public school, we say backyard school. 325, and they got 318 a bishop from around the world. The school of Alexandria or the church of Alexandria, they come with 20 bishops. By the way, unfortunately, we haven't got all the name of the bishop, but the most important one we talk about. They have about 20 law they have in this one, but we go through the one affecting you as a servant. Some doesn't affect us, but some very important. Bob Alexandros, he took a 20 bishop and he took his deacon, what's his name? Athanasios. And I have some small books here which summarize his life story. This one very important books. What happened?
No, I just said no.
What time you need to finish?
No.
We have about 8-9 hours, so I have to take my 2 hour two lecture next 2 months. Yes.
So Pope Alexandros is
19.
Yeah, Pope Alexandros is deacon Saint Athanasios.
No. Bob Alexandros, he went to the council with 20 bishops and he took the deacon with him, his deacon was Athanasios. Saint Athanasios, the one he be a pope after him. So the Church of Alexandria come with 20 bishops. Unfortunately, the Church of Rome or Europe was only about 6 bishops. 6 bishops. The head of the council of Nicaea was Hosius. This one, his city was, or country was small, like Spain. And he was very simple person, but to show you in that time, they're not gonna talk about which big country will make the head of the council. They was talking to the spiritual people. In that time, and later on, when we talk about the third council, the politics and the position was affecting the council. That's why the division started after 451. After this one, they have the council of the church, and they bring The bishop of the king Constantine, his name Eusebius from Nicomedia. This guy, they said he is very sneaky and evil person. He was supporting Arius. So they bring them and they bring Arius, start to say your heresies. They start 20 of May 325, and they said every bishop, any transport you want in that time, the king allowed to come. And they bring them, all of them, and they start. The king started thanking them for everyone coming, and they start. I am here to support all decision you took. I understand my role as a politics, but you are the people running the religion. Discuss anything you want. The time you decide, I can force it and can be a law. So they start to talk to Arius. Arius and his followers start to say what he believed. They start to answer him. The most one was very important person in all this council was the deacon Saint Athanasios. He was around 25 years old. When he was 15, Pope Alexandros, he made him his deacon. And when he was before 20, he wrote 2 books, very important. First one against the pagans, the second one incarnation of the word. Someone around 20 years to write a books. If you read these books, no one study any theology in the world, they not study these books. And just I talked to Terence, he will get these books and you can do reading for these books. The Pope Shinoda, he said he was looking after one of the library of the monastery when he was a monk, Father Antonius Soriani. He said these books was spiritual books, was books of theology, was a books of to be a monk. Every time, anything you want to read, you will find in this book. And someone around 20 years old. How old our average here? 18. Okay, this person was 20 years and he published the biggest book talk about theology in the world.
You know, when Uncle comes, I'm like a disciple. Actually, I'll just tell you a secret. I look forward to the Sundays that he comes. Because I learned from him.
Thank you, Abuna.
So he gets up and does the sermon in the liturgy. And I learned so much from him. So it's an opportunity when you have a blessed servant that God's gifted in the Word.
Thank you.
That you learn and take as much as you can from it. Okay?
Thank you, Abuna. Thank you. My reward gone now. We talk about some of the people, they said, attending the council of the church, one of them, a bishop, he raised someone from death. They said another bishop, he was very good person. When they started talking about some of the heresies, he stand and answer. They said a lot of blessed bishop was attending. And I told you about the story, it was 318. And every time they count the chairs, they found how many? 319. And in this, from this council, every time they have a meeting or council, they put the Bible and the cross. That means God present. It's very important. I told you about the 2 donkey story to show you how blessed these people attend the council. In this council, they decide excommunicate Arius and his followers. So the king, he said, anyone he not believe for what the council decide, they start to do the creed, and the 3 of the people done the creed. Saint Athanasios, one of them, Pope Alexandros, second one, and the bishop of Cappadocia, the third one. We in our church, everyone he says Saint Athanasios wrote the creed. Not only Saint Athanasius himself, but very big honor. And 2 of the people wrote the creed was from the Coptic church. When I was listening to sermon for Pope Shinoda, he said, we are very proud Saint Athanasius coming from our church. He said, if any church in the world have one like Saint Athanasius, is something very big and huge. Anyhow, in this council too, what they decide, yes.
What was the bishop that, the third bishop?
Cappadocia, from Cappadocia, I will get his name here. But because only 3 small books, I try to collect as much as I can to summarize in very small time. Another thing they decide in this council, I want you to focus because all this one will affect us later on, and you can hear what's happening around. The feast of the Easter. How many times we heard we need to have celebrate all the Christians together in feast of Easter? Many times. But in this council they decide the Church of Alexandria or our Coptic Church decide when we can celebrate the Easter, and we tell all the church around the world when the day we celebrate the Easter. Because we have one of the Pope, he done the dates اللي هو الأبقوتي. You know, this date very hard to fix it. We are very lucky you have the calendar, you know, next year when we can celebrate the Easter. Because our Easter must come after the Passover of the Jewish. Because Jesus he crucified on Friday. They said we have to stick to Sunday because he raised on Sunday, and they have to be after the Passover of the Jewish. The Jewish, they follow the moon calendar. So what this mean? Every year it's changing. That's why every year you found our Easter is changing. So the Coptic Church, we have one of the Pope, he's very intelligent, his name Pope Demetrius XII. This Pope, when before he be a Pope, he was ignorant, he didn't learn. But God, he opened his mind, and he done this one. One of my friend, he done PhD in his only how you make this date. He teach in theological college in Egypt now. And this is complicated to someone to know and explain this one, very complicated. Because the Church of Alexandria, they have someone intelligent like this. So in the council of the church around the world, they said the Easter coming from the Church of Alexandria to tell all the world when we celebrate the Easter. And even you see the Roman Church, they celebrate Easter before us. That's right? Have a look to the light coming from the tomb of Jesus Christ in Jerusalem. With which Easter? Our one. So that's meant to show the right date. So we hear a lot of time they want to celebrate one Easter. If you want to correct Easter, they should follow our date. Because that's what in the council of the church, they order all the church. That's one of the things. Another thing they said, the priest, we need the priest not married to be a single, so he focus about his service. One of the bishop, very intelligent, his name Befnotio, he said, listen, we need to follow the church from beginning. The priest can marry and is serving God, but if he be a priest, he cannot marry. And you look to us, we have the monk serve in the monastery. If they come and they're not married, they live as it is. If we have someone, his wife passed away, he not allowed to marry. Like the deacon, واحد زي عم مبارك مثلا, the time he ordained as a deacon, he cannot marry after he ordained as a deacon. Abuna Mina Discourse from Macquarie Field, his wife passed away about maybe 25 years now. If you want to remarry, you have to lose the priesthood. So we have the two type of, you can serve as a monk and I can serve as a married. And that's the difference between us and the Catholic Church. Catholic Church have a lot of problem because their priest not married. Our church was very wise and they follow the counsel of the church until now. Another one was a story about, remember the bishop I said last time about the bishop of Asyut. This bishop, during the persecution, he denies the faith. So they give him some spiritual punishment. He don't like it. So what he did, he separate himself from the church and start to ordain a bishop. So the council of the church, they said, any bishop under a pope, he has to follow what the pope done and ask him to do. And every bishop he ordained, they excommunicate him or lose his bishop unless the pope agree. And after this one, They come to Egypt, and when the Pope come, this bishop he repent, and this bishop was him. Some of them come, some of them didn't come. Another law happened in this council too about the baptism. What baptism? People during the persecution, was very hard persecution, the Romans, they deny the faith. Like what we hear now, someone he converted to different religion, Islam or whatever, he repent and come back. Some of the people, they said they should be re-baptized. In this council, they said the baptism only once. Whatever you do, it's only once, but you can have a spiritual practice or spiritual exercise, but they not gonna repeat your baptism. They done about 20 law in this council. You can refer to them. And I said the only important one for you. The king, after this council finished, he gave everyone present, and he was so happy from Saint Athanasios. He gave him the best present and give him more present. And in that time he hear about Saint Anthony the Great. And Saint Anthony, he started to write a letter to Saint Anthony. One of the letter, Saint Anthony opened the letter in front of his monk. He told them, look, even the king Constantine, how very important is the one order the Christianity to be a religion after the persecution. Saint Anthony, he told his monk, look, he's still a king, but they need the spiritual people and they need to follow our church. After this council finished, every one of the bishop come back to his diocese. The most important one in this council, the deacon Saint Athanasios. We need to go through his story to know who's Saint Athanasios, because if you look in some of the Encyclopedia Britannica and all this one, they said his parents pagan. For me, I just follow this one. They have some of the papyrus here, even the writer, he brings them, they found in the monastery. I tell you a story and you decide what you think. Pope Alexandros one day, he was looking through his window. He found a young person, say the baptism for, this some of the papyrus they found in one of the monastery. And this what the papyrus say, I will tell you now. So Pope Alexandros, he looked from through his window waiting for some bishop for meeting. He found a young person, there was Saint Athanasios like this, when he was young, have 2-3 people, he talked to them about Christianity and he started to baptize them. So Pope Alexandros, he said, who's this boy, bring him here. So they bring him here, he started to ask about him, they found his family moved from Upper Egypt to live in Alexandria. A lot of resource even in our early church like now, 1800 or this one, some of the writers, they said his parents pagan. And his mother was working in one of the temple and all this one. Now, one of the resource I found, and that makes sense, his dad was a priest. Because if someone pagan, how he understand and say all the baptism, very hard to believe. That's why the Pope, he asked his mom, your son is very intelligent, I want him to come to the school of Alexandria. His mom agreed, and he grew up in the school of Alexandria. So when he was 15 years old, he make him a deacon and he started serving him with the Cathedral of Alexandria. I tell you some of the stuff Pope Shinoda he say about him. He said there is no one, a bishop or pope of a school of Pope of his church of Alexandria less than 30 years old. Only one person. Do you know if Saint Athanasius nowadays is not going to choose him as a pope? Have to stay 15 years in the monastery and have to be minimum 35 years. Saint Athanasius, he was a pope and the less than 30 years, never happened. And I told you last time, he's the second longest pope in our church. And who's the first one? I said it last time.
Yeah.
Who's the longest pope serving in our church? What's his name?
We don't have something.
Bab Kurolus, and you write it, and the 52 years, and 8 months or 9 months.
Which one?
Fourth, the fifth, the one before Bab Kurolus the sixth, because the Bab Kurolus the sixth, he saw him in vision before he get ordained. And he carry a baby and give it to him. And he said, you will look after the church like a baby. So next day he was expecting Bab Kurolus, because Bab Kurolus, his favorite saint was who?
Mina.
Saint Mina. So everyone expect he can be the Bob Mina. But during the ordination, before in the morning, they said, what name you want? He said, Kurolus the sixth. He said, why? He said, Bab Kurolus the fifth appeared to me and they tell me this and this is, that's why they choose the name. These people very close to God, so the vision and the Santa appeared to them.
But isn't it kind of sad how he had like his favorite saint for so long, and then he gets one vision and then instantly.
Yeah, but sometimes it's from God. Number two, he love him. He make a very big monastery under his name. You know, if you go to the monastery of Saint Mina, one of the biggest monastery we have in Egypt, and everyone visited. And how many church he built under the name of Saint Mina. All right, I tell you how much I love Saint Athanasios. My youngest son, his name Athanasios, to show you how I love Saint Athanasios. All right. One of the words they said when they give him hard time, one of the words, the Latin word is very famous. You will read when you read his book. They call Athanasios contra la monde. This one, a word for Latin. Athanasios against the world. Sometime he was by himself fighting these heresies. The bishop from Egypt was against him because some of them they're not sure what's happening. Bishop from outside against him. Some of the people they follow Arius, but he was very firm. They used to say, if you are in Saint Athanasius' face, that's the right face. Bab Shinoda, he said, when we sit with dialogue with the Roman Church or any another church, the first thing we said, we are on the face of Saint Athanasius, Saint Kurolus, the pillar of faith, and Bab Discourse. So these people, that's why we need to understand the face of the church, he said. Another one, they said here, how long he stay as a bishop, as a pope? Athanasius. Second longest one. I just said it. 45. Okay, remember, biggest one, longest one?
52, 8 months.
After this one?
45.
Who? Bab Athanasius. Okay? All right. They said the world, if not have Saint Athanasius, all this world now should be like Jehovah Witness. Because the heresies of Arius is the Jehovah Witness heresies. To show you how important this one. After this one, they said, if someone martyr, he martyr only once. Like Pope Botrus, like any of the martyrs, martyr once. Saint Athanasius, he used to martyr every day to keep the right face. In year 1973, Bab Shinoda, he loved Saint Athanasius very much. He went to Rome and he bring his relics to Egypt. And I saw this one when I was in Egypt. I was in theological college. They put his relics was outside the under the cathedral, and now they have a special place. They put the relics of Bab Athanasius in cathedral in Egypt. And under the altar of cathedral, when you visit Egypt, في العباسية, you found the relics of Saint Mark. And who brings the relics of Saint Mark to Egypt? Bab Kurolus. Bab Kurolus. So Bab Kurolus brings the relics of Saint Mark. Bab Shinoda, he brings the relics of Saint Athanasius. Athanasius, what's the meaning of his name? The eternal. And remember, when you study hymns, Anastasius, that means eternal, never die. And he never die. His writing and his teaching never die. They call him Athanasius the Great because he was the great. No one like him. And they call him Athanasius the Apostolic. Why? Because he suffered like the father of the church, the Apostolic Father. They have a lot of name How long?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. All right. We stop here. I think I ask some question because I doesn't want to start his story and we stop. The most important books he wrote. Which book?
Incarnation.
Of the word. What means the word?
The word. The Logos.
Logos. What does it mean logos?
God.
God, the mind, like mind of God. That's a Greek word. Doesn't get the English translation very well or Arabic, but this like exactly you cannot live without your mind. And Mr. North Sydney, Bob Peter, which Bob number? No one help him. My God. Take the beanie, the brain can work. You put the beanie, yeah. No, it's still not gonna work. Bob number.
Number 5.
Number 5. I never this guy.
17. I had that in my mind.
Who's the Bob number 17? Don't tell him. Peter. And what the Peter, what we call him? Peter what?
I didn't write about it.
Last Seal of Martyrs. Seal of Martyrs. Seal of Martyrs. Okay. What's your name? Teresa. Close your book. Teresa. Bob number 18.
Couldn't tell you. I'm so sorry.
He was attending with us?
Yes.
Invisible. Or a koshari. Hair koshari. Yeah. مش انت you the one bought the koshari? Yeah, and they eat for free. That's right. Mom, all right. All right. Bob number 18. No one help her. Don't take the paper. Haram, you know. God, he will lift you from eyelash. Bob number 18. Eyelash.
Was it Athanasios?
Athanasios 18? My God. Mr. Daniel.
Anna?
No, other than
Alexandros?
18.
Because I don't want him to lift me by my eyelashes.
Mr.
Ashmandios, whatever. Ashmandios.
I give him something. I give him something. Bob number 1.
Okay. Athanassios.
Number 1.
Oh, Mark.
Say Mark.
Some Mark.
Then Athanassios.
Okay. Number 2.
Athanassios.
No. Anyone here know? $5.
What does his name start with?
It's A.
A?
Now $4.
$4, but it's A, okay?
We have a bishop now. We have a bishop now after his name. Inianus.
A?
All right. Bob number 6.
Bob number 6, huh?
And he was the first head of the school of Alexandria. Some Mark ordained him the first head of school. Justus.
Justus, yes.
Oh,
Justus?
No, Lamba Justus ده now بتاع المونستري. This Justus was the first pope to look after the school of Alexandria. Who's the last pope was the head of the school of Alexandria?
The last.
Pope was the head of the school of Alexandria.
Alexandros. Alexandros.
Bob Shinoda. He was the head of the school of Alexandria and they choose him as a pope. History. Don't keep it. Glory be to God forever and ever. Amen. Hey, we pray.